Right, well, here we go, I suppose. This is going to be the first time I've ever shaved my head. Yeah, I'm a little nervous. God, that does look weird. Looks fine, actually. But it looks weird to me because I've always had long hair. Now, is that acceptable? I don't know. So this weirdly, this is how I sort of see myself, because I know that I'm losing my hair. So this is not actually that weird for me. It's a little bit weird, but it's not, I think, as weird as it is going to be to everybody else who probably thinks I still have big, thick, bushy head of hair. Question is, do I go? No go. I don't know. That's what we're going for, apparently. I think that's it. I'm covered in hair. Can't really see anything. Oh god, that looks a bit weird. Not gonna lie. Looks alright though. Looks alright. And then yeah, that's it. 15 years. Gone in 9 minutes and 47 seconds. Thanks.
15 years in the making. It's
15 years. Yes. So I knew I had to kind of hear it. I'm really here to listen.
The best place to start is at the beginning, I guess, isn't it? All the way through school, I used to have long, curly hair. When I left school, I was like, right, I'm going to reinvent myself. Completely new me, knew everything. I'm going to get a haircut. And I remember sitting in the barber's chair, and he had just sort of finished and just started styling the hair with a bit of wax. And I looked forward and I kept dipping my head, and I was like, I can see my scalp. Why can I see my scalp? What's going on? And I asked him, he's just like, oh, it's probably nothing. I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, how old are you? And he's like, I'm 16. He's like, yeah, it's probably nothing. Don't worry about it. It's probably just this clay stuff that I'm using, and it's pulled your hair a little bit, and it's showing your scalp a little bit. I was like, okay, no problem. So that was all fine, I thought. A couple of months later, however long it was, I had my hair cut again, and it was there again, but I asked him not to put the wax in this time. And he was there again, and I was like, oh no. And I instantly knew. I was like, I'm going the same way as my uncle, because my uncle bald at like 24, completely at 24.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, because but that's my mum's side, I should say. My dad's side, full head of hair. At that point, I was like, right, it's fine, because I can just grow my hair again, I can hide it.
Right,
so
go back to how it was before, right?
Exactly, because I don't know if it was just the fact that it was so curly, or maybe it was so long. It would hide it really. Well, I'll say hide it really well. It would make it so it was less obvious, I think.
Right.
So that's what I did. I grew my hair out again, and I thought, well, that's the end of it. I can keep my hair for as long as I can keep it. Whatever. Fast forward a few more years after that again, I had relatively long hair again. I bought a motorbike. I went to work that day. I took my helmet off. Someone behind me said, "You've got an egg in your nest." And I said, "I've never heard that before."
Yeah.
What does that mean? It's like, you can see top of your head. Basically your crown showing.
Yeah.
I was like, sugar. Once again, I thought, that's fine. We can hide it. We can do what we can. So this is what I used to do. This is how ridiculous it was. I'd get to work early, no reason, wear my helmet to the bathroom, or to the toilet.
Motorbike helmet.
Motorbike helmet.
Really? Yeah.
Motorbike helmet. Take it off. Make sure there's no one else in the toilet, obviously. Take it off, put it on the side, and then kind of like mess with my hair enough to make it look like I wasn't going bald.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, before we go any further, that was me. That was me also. I don't know how you must have felt in that moment when, you know, someone actually like called you out there and then on it, you know, because honestly, that was like my biggest fear. Like I used to constantly play with like the crown because
Yeah.
mine started going at the crown as well.
Yeah.
Constantly playing with it to kind of like, it sounds so daft, but like ruffle it up so that it was like more, you know, the hair that was there could be used more than it would, you know what I mean? More than it would be if it was just down.
Yeah,
And,
exactly. It was almost like a
biggest...
comb over, but not really. It was just kind of like a comb ruffle.
Yes, exactly that. Exactly that. You know, trying to like get some volume in there or whatever, right? And
yeah, exactly.
that was my biggest thing. I just was so fearful of someone calling me out on it and being like, you know, so people, when people were behind me and stuff, that would make me feel uncomfortable. Sorry to interrupt, but you should carry on. So you're
no, that's fine. I'm glad you can. You're on the same sort of wavelength as me. You know what I mean?
100%.
I'm not insecure at all, but the one insecurity I did have was the fact that I had a bald spot, which is ridiculous because no one cares. Honestly, if I'd have shaved my head there and then, I think everyone would have grilled me for a day, and then
it would have been that.
That would have been it. But instead, I continued to do that for about, it's going to be ridiculous, but about 4 or 5 years.
Right. The same kind of morning routine like that, yeah? Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not true. It probably went on for about three years, and then I learned how to drive a car.
Right.
And I put my motorbike in the shed or something. So I started taking the car to work. But by that point, it had progressed. So it had got slightly bigger, and I couldn't quite hide it as well.
Yeah.
So then came the beanie hats. And I used to wear a beanie hat or a cap, depending on what the weather was like, every single day.
Right. Like
without
all day. Fail. Like all day.
All day.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I mean, I used to start work quite early in the morning, sometimes like 5 o'clock in the morning. So it'd be quite cold. So I'd put a beanie on. By 3:30, when I would be going home, it would be really, really warm. I'm still keeping that beanie on, which is, once again, a silly thing to do because I was uncomfortable for years.
Yeah.
Which is a stupid thing to do when now I look back on it, it just doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah. It's strange, isn't it? You must have to be, and we'll get on to this point of like how, you know, you came to finally kind of go for it, but it's a bizarre thing that you have to go for it to realize those things, because at the time it makes complete sense. Like, this is how I'm dealing with it. I guess the fear of being like the bald guy or shaving it off, losing the hair is not, it's like it's not enough yet to kick you into that action of saying like, this has got to change, you know? And until you get to that point, you just kind of keep going with it and they're called, you know, I think the actual term for them is, they call them safety behaviors. It's like little things that you do, whether it's a certain style, the hat thing for you, right? Different products, even just how you kind of carry yourself day to day, is just small things you do to try and manage those like fears and anxieties and insecurities around like the fact that you're going bald and losing your hair, right? So was it a case of literally like up in the morning and before you go out the door, the hat's on and that's it?
Work isn't the only thing that I used to do. I used to go out with my friends. I used to go to the gym, things like that. I did kickboxing and Muay Thai and things like that whilst also going through this. Sounds like a weird thing to be going through, but you know what I mean? Like while this was happening.
Dealing with it,
Yeah, dealing with it. Yeah, exactly. Every chance I got, I would wear a hat. Every single chance. So if we were going to the pub, we can wear a hat in a pub, no problem. If we were going out on a Saturday night or a Friday night or whatever, I would have to go out of my way to try and put some sort of like the fibers,
hair fibers,
you know what I mean? The hair fibers, put a load of them on, hairspray it, hold it down.
And for nights out, right?
For nights out,
because obviously you can't wear hats in clubs and stuff, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I would wear hair fibers for that. Which once again, what on earth was I thinking? Because in the UK, as I'm sure you're aware, the weather is never guaranteed. So I'd go out and just go, oh, it's lovely. This will be fine. And it starts raining. Yeah. And I'm like, well, that's
then you've got to manage that, right? And you've got more. Is it like coming down? Is it like
exactly? I say, and at this point as well, the front has started to go as well. Right. So I was wearing my hair in like a. Almost like an emo fringe.
Yeah, I remember from the video at the start of the video.
So I used to wear it like down like that. Yeah, which would cover it up, but even then you could see that it was thinning because there would be little gaps.
Right. It would like the fringe would like clump together in certain areas and
and part in some places.
And part in other. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd have to cover that with the old hair fibers,
Mm.
hairspray that, and then if wind took it, and then it would just expose the front. And,
Yeah.
absolute nightmare. Now I think back on it and how stressed I was about it, and that's how I
Mm.
used to live for years. This wasn't
Yeah.
just like a couple of weeks or a couple of months. This was years. You know, we'd go out on a Saturday night. I'd say at least once or twice a month, maybe sometimes 3 times. So we were going out quite fairly often. This was my procedure before that. So everyone would meet at a friend's house or my house or wherever it was. And for hours earlier, I was just messing with my hair to make sure it looks okay for that particular moment in time
Yeah.
before my friends got there, because I didn't want my friends to actually see
Right. This is
how
like pre-drinks would be like
this is
the hair.
pre-drinks.
Right.
Exactly, yeah. So
Yeah.
they pop round for pre-drinks, and 2 hours before that, I was in the mirror. I'd got all my clothes on as well to make sure that I didn't mess it up by
Oh,
pulling over a
'cause-
t-shirt.
yeah.
So I'd got all my clothes on, and I was sitting in the mirror, staring at it like that, going, right, I need to pull that part there and that part now, exposing that part. What am I going to do? Ridiculous.
During this time, were you like talking to people? Were you like
So
asking for any advice about this, or
no, I suffered in silence like a man.
classic, right?
Like a classic man, I was
Yeah.
suffering in silence, as I'm sure you're aware, being a man.
Yeah.
We are
You don't-
famous for bottling things up. Just
Yeah.
we'll keep that on the down low because
To our own
it's easier.
detriment. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
easier. Or we
exactly.
think it's
And
going to be easier.
yeah,
Silly,
exactly.
right?
And it's a ridiculous thing to do because, once again, now I've done it, I've realized it just doesn't matter. So for years and years and years, I was doing that. Pretty much that's continued up until basically lockdown, because obviously when lockdown happened, we weren't going out, we weren't doing
Mm.
anything. Work pretty much got cancelled, so I wasn't going to work and stuff anymore. So actually, I didn't worry about my hair as much. I'm not going anywhere, so
Yeah.
no one can see it. The only person
Yeah.
who can see it is my now partner. That's pretty much the story of where we are and all the ridiculous hiding that I used to do.
Yeah. It might just be it's time now. When did those thoughts start to creep in?
Very, very recent, probably within the last month or so.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm almost kind of like seeing it as, how can I basically take a weight off my shoulders and also like better myself? I'm sure that I was just such a pain. Not like generally just like not nice to be around, but I'm sure I was a pain because I would mither about my hair constantly. And
Right. Okay.
and I'm sure whenever I was with my friends, they were just thinking, just get over it, man. just don't worry about it. But obviously they wouldn't say that to me. And I just thought to myself, like, how can I possibly better myself from doing that? And I
Yeah.
think I just get rid of my insecurity. This stuff.
Yeah.
So I did. I was just on YouTube one day, and I just thought, I wonder if anybody else has gone through what. Of course, if people have gone through what I've gone through, but I was just like, I wonder if I'm the only person who has. And
Yeah.
I just thought I'd Google like balding men, how to, that sort of thing. And I was just
Yeah.
watching, and then I found you, and I watched a bunch of your videos, and there was just guys on there, and they were just going for it. And I just thought, there's little excuse now, isn't there? There's just no excuse. So let's just do it. I used to make self-deprecating jokes about things like that to my closest friend. Basically, I've known him for 25 years.
Yeah.
And I used to say, we used to like. Like driving somewhere, drive past a bald guy or something, and I said, "Oh, that could be my dad," and just things like that, just little comments like that.
Yeah.
And he was never on the side of treat it with chemicals or get a supplement or anything like that.
No.
He was very much a matter of fact, just shave your head.
Yeah.
But I just resisted for years and
Yeah.
years and years and years,
Yeah.
and there was no need to do that because here's the other thing: when I shaved my head, literally nothing changed. Nothing.
Yeah.
I went to the gym. No one even looked at me twice. I went shopping. The day I actually did it, I had to go shopping anyway. But I suppose I could have sent the missus, I suppose. But I didn't. I thought to myself, I'm going to go out and I'm not going to take it. Because normally what I'd do with obviously my previous hair, I'd grab a hat, put it straight on, I'd go out shopping. But that day I thought, no, because I'm never going to see anyone in that Morrison's or Aldi or wherever it is that I went. I'm never going to see them again. And they've never seen me before, most likely. So I'm just going to go. And this is going to be new me almost, and that's the only way I can describe it. It's almost like this is the new me, and anyone who now meets me now knows me as this. I forced myself to go out shopping that day, and
so good
it
that
was
you
so
did,
freeing.
by the way. Yeah,
I know.
So good that you did.
I thought to myself, I could wear a hat because I'm still, I've just shaved my head. I'm a little bit insecure about it. It doesn't quite, in my head, it didn't quite look right. Because obviously I've never seen myself with a shaved head before. So every time I walk past anything with any sort of reflected surface, I was like, whoa, who's that? Oh, it's me. It's fine. So yeah, and I just forced myself to go out without a hat, and I just did the shopping, and no one treated me any differently. No one looked at me, and probably no one looked at me twice, basically. Went to the gym the next day, and I just thought, once again, not going to wear a hat. I used to wear a hat at the gym. How ridiculous is that? I used to cook my own head at the gym because I used to get sweaty wearing a hat. But you've got
Beanie,
to,
right?
because yeah, exactly, but you've got to. Well, you haven't got to, obviously, but I had to, because once again, my one insecurity. I'm just going to go to the gym and see what people think. Once again, not even a second look. no one recognized me. No one cared. Even though I say I recognize a few people, I think they recognize me as well, because there was like a double take sometimes, but there was no comment. There was nothing more than that. I think they just saw me and went, "Oh, he shaved his head."
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. I don't know what I expected. I have no idea. But now I've done it, I realise whatever it is that you're expecting, it won't happen. What I've come to realise is just hair. And it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And if this helps one person in my situation, then that is worth its weight in gold, frankly, because for 15 years, since the age of 16, I've been worried and scared and thinking all my friends are going to abandon me because I've just shaved my head. No one cares. It's ridiculous that you put yourself through that, and it is so silly for 15 years.